solutions fall short of what is needed. The AIP Water Investment Scorecard is therefore a very welcome initiative to help change this. To help accelerate water investments in Africa, overcome bottlenecks, and narrow the investment gap that must be bridged to achieve SDG 6. At IMI, we contributed to development of the scorecard indicators for agricultural water management and irrigation, and we remain committed to supporting the Africa Water Investment Programme and national governments to apply the scorecard to identifying priorities, delivering data needed to make water more investable, and to tracking impacts, in particular on the livelihoods of smallholder farmers. Water investment in Africa is a critical mission, which is becoming more urgent as the pressures on water security grow and as climate change takes hold. Your dialogue on unlocking investment in water in Africa is therefore of the utmost importance, and I wish all delegates every success. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tim Wainwright. I'm the Chief Executive of WaterAid. Very timely, this conference, I think. I really welcome the gathering of global expertise as we head towards COP27 and the UN Water Conference of 2023. It's great, it's very important we get this issue to the top of both the African and the wider global agenda. At WaterAid, we agree that water and health livelihoods is a key part of climate resilience. I hope this conference reacts to finance the gap, which we see at around 200 billion a year. This is urgent. It really does need that shift of resources. It's woefully under-resourced at the moment. I'm very encouraged by recent developments. I think the Water Pavilion at COP26 was great, and also the profiling of water within adaptation within the recent IPCC report. And it's great to see the Global Watershed Partnership addressing this issue of access to finance. We're working with the GWP and other organisations in countries as part of the Resilient Water Accelerator, which is putting these ideas into practice in specific countries around the world. And I wanted to end by really thanking Dario and his colleagues who are showing a pathway, governments, donors, and the private sector to invest in this fundamental human need of resilient water. So I'm looking forward to a strong collaboration together across 2022. Thank you very much indeed.
Honorable President, Your Excellency Mwinyi, Honorable President, Your Excellency Dr. Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete, Honorable Regional Commissioners, Ministers, Ambassadors, Permanent and Principal Secretaries, distinguished delegates of the High-Level Water Investment Conference. It is my honor to follow the illustrious speakers before me and make this short statement on behalf of the Sanitation and Water for All Partnership hosted by the United Nations. Allow me to start by repeating what those before me have said and reiterating SWA's support to the Continental Africa Water Investment Programme and in particular to the associated AIP-PIDA Water Investment Scorecard. The Africa Investment Programme is ambitious in scope and commensurate to the needs of the hour, and the AIP-PIDA Water Investment Scorecard is the best possible tool to inform and thereby accelerate progress towards this ambition. The aims of the scorecard are fully in keeping with the strategic objectives of the SWA partnership. The scorecard has 5 aims: to guide investments in water, including water and sanitation services, to mobilize political leadership, to raise further financing, to promote mutual accountability, and to monitor progress in water investments. The SWA, for its part, is driven by 3 objectives, which are to build and sustain political will, to champion multi-stakeholder approaches, and to strengthen systems and attract new investments. So we see that the scorecard can be clearly and strongly linked to SWA's mandate and it is thus that we are proud and happy to support it. As a part of this support, we are teaming up with the AUDA NEPAD and the Global Water Partnership Africa to engage representatives of ministries of finance on the development of the scorecard. National ministries of finance are one of the most critical actors when we consider water investments and have to be engaged strongly to transform the investment outlook for water and sanitation in Africa, which is the motto of this conference. We hope to convince and capacitate these actors on water investments to explore the current landscape of these investments and ways to improve this landscape. We hope this discussion will help ensure that the scorecard is well adapted to and well adopted by countries. Now, please allow me to highlight that the scorecard makes a case to mobilize political leadership and commitment to accelerate financing of water investments. In the upcoming sector ministers meeting, which is scheduled for May of this year, we will invite participation from the 85 SWA partner countries in the persons of their ministers in charge of water, sanitation, hygiene, climate, health, and economy. This meeting will aim to strengthen leadership, commitment, and accountability so that countries are able to resolutely place water, sanitation, and hygiene as central pillars in economic development, in climate resilience, and in health recovery. It is thus fitting that this scorecard help countries prepare for the ministerial meeting by bringing finance actors closer to water actors and therefore finance solutions closer to water needs. Conversely, the preparation for the sector ministers meeting will help disseminate and apply the scorecard in countries. We eagerly look forward to continued engagement with the Continental Africa Water Investment Program and with the AIP-PIDA Water Investment Scorecard as part of our vision of sanitation and water for all, always and everywhere. With that, thank you.
We are now finished the list of speakers. Now let's invite Professor Ruden. Tunajifunza hivyo. Muone maprofesa wakubwa walivyovaa. Zinahangaika kufunga kamba shingoni.
Your Excellencies, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to be here in such an assembly, and I must apologize. It took 40 million years to form what I am going to describe and explain to you, and you've given me or us 40 minutes to explain the whole thing. So I have to be brutally fast and direct. I'm joined with my colleague, Claudia Bertoni, Doctor. She's here.
Stand up, Claudia.
Yes.
From the University of Oxford.
She's part of a team called the Search Model. And actually it is an inheritance, a direct consequence of the moral support given by the then President Jakaya Kikwete in Tanzania, where we were starting the Kimbiji venture, which in turn led to the search model, and it is growing in size and significance. And we would not have been here, at least Dr. Bertoni and myself, had it not been for this support. And history will be kind to us, Your Excellency. History will be kind to us. There will be more on this later here. We are not water talkers, we are water doers. So we, again, I'll apologize for the directness of my speech, but it is in the service of water supply, so I hope for forgiveness. Okay, so you can see what we got here. It's all about climate change. Climate change, not the climate change that has been described up and down a number of times today, but climate change of times past. Because we have in the front of our doorstep here on Zanzibar, maybe towards east and definitely towards the west, large reservoirs. These reservoirs were not part of, they are enormous, large affairs that have been dry land for much of its geological time, not as we see them today. And these climate fluctuations, which is a part of our past, they are called Milankovitch cycles, is seen here. The sea level goes up and down because of all the ice that accumulates in my home country. So the more ice in the Arctic, Antarctic, the less seawater. So the level drops. It goes up and down, up and down. It's gone up and down 41 times. So climate change is nothing new. But in this case, we benefit from the climate changes, and that is new. And mind you, again, brutally direct, not a drop of the water that we will describe here in the next few minutes, may I add. Yeah, this is much better. Can we turn it on? Hello? Yeah.
Don't worry. We are all ears.
Okay. I will be without the mic for a few seconds. Please.
No, you need a simultaneous translation.
Oh, sorry. Are we ready? Yeah. Thank you. These fluctuations have been the engine that has driven water into the reservoirs that are on all sides of this island, not only Unguja, but Pemba. As we will see with clarity on the three-dimensional models that we will present, there is a potential like nowhere else. I will show you okay, this is... No, that is the wrong way. Okay, this is Unguja today, this island. This is Unguja 8,000 years ago. And as some of you know, but not all of you, the groundwater here in Zanzibar also is the host for fish, stonefish, live fish, catfish. So if you drill a well here, and I talked to a driller 10 years ago, he was retired by then, but he could explain to me the problem of drilling and pumping because the pumps get clogged with fish, That's highly unusual in a drilled borehole. And this was freshwater fish that came swimming from the mainland during these periods of time. So the puzzle has been explained. This reservoir is huge. It consists of sand and marl, clay, down to astounding depths of 7,000 meters. That's almost 10 times the Kimbiji. This is big stuff. These, as you can see here on the right picture, this reservoir is presently being fed by the subsurface flow of main rivers flowing into, hydraulically connected to these reservoirs. And why do we know that? Yeah. As part of the preparations for the Kimbiji project on the mainland, we discovered that some complaints by the Egypt oil drilling crew at the well Ras Machuizi in the channel in 1976, complaints about freshwater inflow diluting their drilling mud, freshwater under pressure. And freshwater gives different signatures on the drilling mud, and it complicates the life of the petrophysicists logging the wells. And that was the first indication that there is water on the fresh water here, and it just snowballed. And now into some solid geology here again, courtesy of TPDC. These were publicly available at the time, so I am not infringing any copyrights or revealing any state secrets here. They are actually taken from the internet before it was taken down from the internet. Don't send your lawyers on us now, because this is in the service of water. If you look at these profiles here, the number 2 is the middle one is actually the most interesting because it runs right through this assembly hall in the middle, and it's a kind of an uplift, a horst. But the yellow here is the potential aquifer. And if you add all of it, it's about 7,000 meters. And it gets a few centimeters every year, courtesy of Wami and Ruvu rivers supplying sand to the surface and water to the subsurface. It's a beautiful system, and not a drop of this water is included in any of the UN publications on the world water reserves. So this is, I have a devilish pleasure of ruining the statistics in this way on your behalf. We have so much to go through, and time is short, so it's life. This is the overview, just to explain what I just mentioned. The Wami and the Pangani rivers, also Ruvu. These 3 tributaries have an enormous catchment area for 2 commodities: sand and water. Sand and water constitutes the reservoir between the islands and the mainland, and the same thing is between Pemba and the mainland. And now I am in danger of being detained here and not see my family on Saturday, because I will not have any word on who will manage this water, because it can be used on both sides of the channel, I think. Sure. Thank you. I will. This is for the water doers among you, the geologists, and also I will. Yeah, my new friend from western province of Zambia. We have had so many fruitful discussions on these matters. This is a log. This is the smoking gun, if I may call it that, showing the presence of water in the channel. And from where the whole thing started 12 years ago. And it's history because it's creeping up the coast. We are now having our largest project ever, the entire country of Somalia, I'll show you, using the same recipe, the same search model as we have developed on basis of the Kimbiji. So it's historic in many ways, actually. Okay, this technical stuff, and we are at your disposal anytime off hours here, just maybe refreshment and some food in between, but we are totally at your disposal in the service of water. I remember 42 years ago, I embarked on a career as a hydrogeologist and driller, and my bank manager said, "Is this a good idea? Your customers are the poorest people on the planet." So I said, I might do something about it, so I changed bank. Here is another glimpse now from just to pre-educate you before you see the three-dimensional models. And this is big stuff. I did some calculations. I'm not giving you discrete figures from this place, but the Kimbiji aquifer could supply my country, the Kingdom of Norway, 5 million people, for about 1,000 years. So if you ever consider when we are drying up, could you please consider sending some drops up to our place?
How do you dry up with all the ice?